Lake Altus had its beginnings in 1927, when the city of Altus dammed the North Fork of the Red River to create a municipal water supply. Construction began on a much larger reservoir in 1941. It was interrupted by the Second World War and completed in 1947. Today, the lake is an important source of irrigation water for southwest Oklahoma farms. And every 5 or 10 years, when the hot Oklahoma summers drop the level of Lake Altus, strange things begin to appear on its exposed bottom. Are those bricks just below the water's surface? Rocks with almost square corners grow out of the weeds. A sidewalk leads to nowhere. This is what remains of the town of Lugert, named for a Bohemian immigrant. Frank Lugert arrived in the United States at age 14 with no English and a sign around his neck reading, "Orphan, must not be harmed." His is a classic immigrant story. He lived with his older brother in Wisconsin, moved to Oklahoma for the Cherokee Strip land run in 1893, then filed a claim when Indian lands were opened in southwest Oklahoma in 1901. He got 80 acres and set about building a town. Frank Lugert operated the post office, owned the general store, and even coined his own money. At one time, 300 Oklahomans lived in Lugert, but the town began to fade away after being devastated by a tornado in 1912. The school was a going concern as late as the 1930s. This is the foundation of a 2-story school building built in 1939 by the WPA. But less than 10 years later, it would be deserted and underwater. And Frank Lugert, who picked his town site near the river so he could fish if he had the time, moved his store across the road and operated it until his death in 1958, literally a stone's throw from the reservoir which flooded his town, now called Lake Altus Lugert.